We have only 40 minutes with us to discuss the topic at hand. And if anybody, I think there is one or two people who actually generally join our meeting, and we are four people are here. If they want to join, they can join meanwhile. Um, before I proceed to actual discussion on syntax part of our syllabus, let me ask you, is my voice clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, thank you. In our last interaction, we discussed the topics that are prescribed uh, to us for G3 paper. Today, we'll actually begin discussion on one of the topics given in the syllabus. So the first topic that we decided is syntax. And first, we'll talk about syntax, and then we'll move to literature part, which consists of six poems written by Indian authors. So let me share with you my screen so you'll be able to see my presentation and here it is. Okay. Can you see this on your screen? तुमच्या स्क्रीनवर ही स्लाइड दिसते
Yes, sir.
मला ऐकायला नाही आलं हो की नाही
हो दिसते सर.
दिसते
हो सर दिसतंय.
हो.
okay now as I said our discussion will be on introduction to syntax and what syntax is we are going to talk about. Okay. Okay, today we are going to talk about syntax, and under syntax there are two sub-points that are given to us to discuss. One is phrase structure grammar, second is types of phrase. Today we'll discuss only this much, and in our next interaction we'll discuss the remaining 2 points, and those are phrase structure rules and representation in bracket PSR. PSR is a short form of phrase structure rules. And in conclusion, we'll talk about how to draw tree diagram for phrases. And drawing tree diagrams for phrases is a very important part of phrase structure grammar. It is called representation. There is one more way of representation of PSR. It is called labeled bracket. And more often, you are not asked a question on labeled bracket, which is an advanced stage of syntax or PSR. Meanwhile, we'll talk about only tree diagram in our discussion. So before we actually proceed to phrase and phrase structure grammar, let me acquaint you with the general sense meaning of syntax. So what syntax does two important things, means two words are very important in this first definition. That syntax organizes words. Rather, I must say that syntax studies how words are organized in a language. And in each language, there, there is a set of rules or a list of rules which guide the organization of words to make sentences. We cannot put words anywhere and make a meaningful sentence. For making a meaningful sentence, we need to follow the rules of syntax in order to put words in appropriate places to make a meaningful sentence. If you take an example of Marathi and any other language for that matter, you will realize that in Marathi we have the order of words like subject, object, and verb. Whereas in English, we have this order, organization, that is subject, verb, and object. In Marathi, verb appears at the end of a sentence, whereas in English, verb occurs in the middle position of a sentence. Why it is so? Because we have different set of rules in each language. Marathi has its own rules of organization of words, and English has its own rules. Likewise, other languages have their own rules of organization. And this is the general sense that when we talk about what syntax does organization of study of organization of words. That is, if you want to understand in nutshell, in brief, then you have to understand only this organization of words. And you can add one more word, appropriate organization of words in a sentence. Okay, so this is one more definition of syntax. And what syntax does: syntax has a set of rules, as I said, and that govern the structure of sentences in a given language. Given language, I mean to say any language. For example, we can organize words the way we want, but mm, it is not always possible to have a meaningful sentence of that organization the way we organize or put the words. So in English, as I said, subject comes first, then verb comes, and then generally object comes or other elements that appear. Understood the general sense of syntax? Syntax जनरल सेन्स लक्षात आलं काय करतो सिंटॅक्स तुम्ही आहात का अवेलेबल एवढं मला कळू द्या ओके you can type your responses in the chat box as well if you do not want to speak because unless you hello
Yes, sir.
आवाज येतो माझा
हो सर.
हॅलो
हॅलो.
आवाज येतोय माझा
हो सर येतोय.
येतो ओके
हं.
बाकीचे कोण कोण आहे हां सगळे आहेत जागेवर ओके चलो सिंटॅक्स लक्षात आलं सिंटॅक्स म्हणजे काय if you respond then I'll be in a position to see or understand that whatever I want to tell you or discuss with you is clear to you. If you are not able to understand me, then I'll find another option to make you understand these things. एवढं लक्षात आलं पहिली स्लाइड
हो सर.
Okay, chalo, moving on. So this is second phrase structure rules, grammar, I mean to say. Before we proceed to phrase structure grammar, first try to understand what phrase is. Phrase म्हणजे काय आपण ते बघूया आणि नंतर phrase structure grammar आणि त्या सगळ्या गोष्टींकडे आपण नंतर जाणार आहोत ओके फ्रेज असा शब्द ऐकलाय तुम्ही याच्या आधी कधी Have you ever heard
नाही
the
सर.
Monaikla? Okay. A clause ऐकलं clause phrase clause sentence असं काही ऐकलं
हो. हो.
सो फ्रेज इज अ वर्ड आणि हायरार्की असते बघा तुम्ही एफ वाय आणि एस वायला दोन गोष्टी शिकला की पहिल्यांदा लँग्वेजमध्ये साऊंड असतो साऊंड एकत्र ठेवलेत की त्याचं सिलेबल तयार होतो सिलेबल एकत्र ठेवलेत की ज्याचा शब्द तयार होतो, दॅट इज वर्ड. मॉर्फॉलॉजीमध्ये तुम्ही ते शिकलात. आणि शब्द एकत्र ठेवलेत तर फ्रेज तयार होते. फ्रेज एकत्र ठेवलेत की क्लॉज तयार होतो. आणि क्लॉजेस एकत्र केलेत की यू हॅव अ सेंटेन्स. आणि सेंटेन्सेस एकत्र केलेत की तुम्ही पॅराग्राफ तुम्हाला मिळतो. आणि पॅराग्राफ एकत्र केलेत यू गेट अन एसे. So this is an hierarchy of organization of words from sound to essays or paragraph. Let's put it in that way. So what phrase is? So here we have a definition of phrase. Phrase is a word or group of words. Make it a point that it can be a single word or it can also be a group of words. For example, uh, Sachin. Sachin is a single word. It can also be a phrase. Sachin is a noun. That's why it is a noun phrase. Or you can say a small boy. In this phrase, we have three words: a small boy. So a phrase can have single word or many words like group of words that functions as a unit of a sentence. And what is its function? It functions as a unit of a sentence. It is not a sentence, but it is a part of a sentence that is called unit. It usually contains a head and a modifier or modifiers. आणि याच्यामध्ये कंपल्सरी किंवा मॅन्डेटरी गोष्ट असते हेड म्हणजे मुख्य. आणि मग बाकीचे आजूबाजूला जे असतील त्या सगळ्यांना म्हणतात मॉडिफायर्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल अ स्मॉल बॉय. याच्यामध्ये सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचा शब्द आहे बॉय. कारण अ आणि स्मॉल हे त्या बॉयबद्दल सांगतात. दॅट इज वाय बॉय द वर्ड इज कॉल्ड हेड. And boy is a noun, that is why it is noun phrase. A small, these are the two words which are called pre-modifiers. Why they are called as pre-modifiers? Because they occur before the head word or before the noun in this example. If there are elements which occur after the head word, those elements are called post-modifiers. We'll discuss these two concepts, pre-modifier and post-modifier, in detail in our next session. As I said that in a phrase, we have head word. And what head word means? It means the main word in a phrase. फ्रेज मधला महत्वाचा शब्द जो असेल त्याला हेड वर्ड असं म्हणतात किंवा हेड म्हणतात त्याला. आणि त्याच्या सुरुवातीला आणि त्याच्यानंतर जे काही असतील त्या सगळ्यांना मॉडिफायर्स असं म्हटलं जातं. आणि मॉडिफायर्स जर आधी आले असतील त्याच्या तर त्याला प्री मॉडिफायर्स असं म्हटलं जाईल. अँड इफ दे अकर आफ्टर द हेड वर्ड then all those modifiers will be called as post modifiers. I hope this point is clear to you. Phrase म्हणजे काय? Head word and modifier. Let me give you two examples of a phrase. One is um, a boy, and the second one is the boy in the class. आता हा group of words आहे. A boy and a boy in the class. अ बॉय याच्यामध्ये दोन शब्द आहेत. अ हा प्री मॉडिफायर आहे कारण हेड कोण आहे बॉय. आणि त्याच्या आधी ते अ आल्यामुळे इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज प्री मॉडिफायर्स. दुसऱ्या एक्झाम्पलमध्ये अ बॉय इन द क्लास we have pre-modifiers as well as post-modifiers. For example, boy is a head word. Before boy we have a. A is a pre-modifier because it occurs before the head word. And a boy in the class. In the class, in the class. These three words are called as post modifiers because they occur after the head word. When I'll provide you a detailed note on this regarding a phrase structure grammar with ample examples, you'll be in a better position to understand the concept of phrase, head, and modifiers. I hope an introductory understanding is being given to you or is done to you by me. एवढं लक्षात आलं फ्रेज म्हणजे काय, हेड वर्ड आणि मॉडिफायर्स.
हो सर.
ओके. जसे जसे एक्झाम्पल्स अधिक येतील तसे तसे आपल्याला त्याचं लक्षात येईल. बिकॉज दिस एरिया इज ऑफ मोर प्रॅक्टिस अँड लेस थिअरी. आणि हा जो एरिया आहे तो अधिक प्रॅक्टिसचा आणि कमी थिअरीचा आहे. प्रॅक्टिस अधिक जर आपण केली तर आपल्याला लवकर लक्षात येईल. नाव वी हॅव आवर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज सॉरी types of phrase. In English, there are 5 types of phrase. And the first one is noun phrase, then verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrase. याचे जे काही उदाहरण आहेत, we'll talk about all these examples separately because these are very important points, not only from exam point of view, but they are very important in understanding the workings of a language. आणि हे तुम्हाला एकदा लक्षात आलं तर मला वाटतं तुम्हाला लँग्वेज कशी वर्क करते हे तुम्हाला लक्षात येईल. Okay, here is one more slide and it talks about the definitions of words. आता याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला ना काही असे शॉर्ट फॉर्म्स दिलेत की त्याचे आपल्याला माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे. कारण ते पुढे आपण जेव्हा टी डायग्रॅम्स बनवणार, लेबलिंग ब्रॅकेट बनवणार, तेव्हा ह्या सगळ्यांची गरज पडते. आपण पूर्ण लिहित नाही. जेव्हा आपण लेबलिंग करतो किंवा जेव्हा आपण ट्री डायग्राम करतो तेव्हा असं पूर्ण सेंटेन्स म्हणून लिहिता येत नाही आपल्याला, त्या लिहित नाही. आपण काय लिहितो फक्त एस. So let's have a look at all these short forms, and you will come to know about how these short forms are used in using or in drawing T diagrams. So yes stands for sentence, NP stands for noun phrase, VP stands for verb phrase, adjective phrase has this particular short form, adverb phrase, PP means prepositional phrase, N means noun, V means verb, DET means determiner, PRO means pronoun, ADJ means adjective. आणि हे स्पेसिफिकली आपल्याला कुठे वापरायला लागतात तर आपण जेव्हा एक 2 मिनिट मला द्या. लॅपटॉप बॅटरी इज अबाउट टू die, so I have to connect my mobile for this. एक 2 मिनिट. ओके. Hello, can you hear me? Actually, I thought that you people have.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So it's there. Mm. Okay, we have so far talked about the first initial part of syntax and how PSR, that is phrase structure rules, uh, are combined or how they are studied. इथपर्यंत तुमच्या लक्षात आलं याच्या up to this battery is about to die. Okay. Up to this, you must have understood what is syntax. Second, what is phrase. Third, head word, modifiers, pre-modifiers and post-modifiers.